Good morning. Hi, it's Lee from the Japanese Water Gardens. I've been off for a few days and a little bit of work has taken place at the job. Covered it. Just turn it off for 1 second because of the noise. Just so I just wanted to film it, but without the noise. Now Stuart has built a blockwork wall straight across the back there, and that is going to be a support for the roof timbers. The fiberglass has been in for what, 35 years, and it's actually got a few cracks and holes in it. So what we've decided to do is we're going to clean it up, and Stuart's actually going to put a new surface on it. And Matthew's just started. This cover makes things a little bit awkward, but they put this cover on to keep out the weather. Get a lot of rain in England. Let's have a look at Matthew cleaning the sides up. So what he's doing there is he's taking off the surface so that the fresh fiberglass is going to get a good key on that. If there's any imperfections in the surface, he's just going to grind them off, and he's going to take off that surface. We call it a flow coat. Hopefully the new top will actually key onto it if we do this. Alright, I think it's time that I get in this hole and give everybody a hand. Coming up in this video, we tackle some tricky issues with the fiberglass. Stuart starts laminating, and I get a massive shock. So keep watching. There is no better way to waterproof a pond than with fiberglass. It can be applied to a variety of surfaces, such as concrete, brickwork, or even plywood. You don't get any unsightly folds or creases, and fiberglass, if done right, can last a lifetime. Unfortunately, in this case, the fiberglass has took such a battering that it needs some work done. It's hardly surprising. It was done a very long time ago. In the days when we didn't have an effective blanket weed controller, it was blasted clean several times a year with an industrial strength pressure washer. It's been exposed to a multitude of fish treatments, bumped 1,000 times with nets, scraped with fish baskets and everything else. Now normally we wouldn't recommend fiberglassing over the top of existing fiberglass. This is because you can get problems with the new fiberglass delaminating, peeling off or blistering. If you do attempt it, it is very important to remove the old surface to get a good key. I was really surprised to see how bad the damage was. There was no way that you can patch a hole like this when everything is breaking away and flexing around. The only solution was to cut out a large area of the damage. The edge was extremely brittle, and I was really conscious of how much it was moving around. I needed to hold the fiberglass down firmly. Stop it breaking away any further. So I drilled a series of holes into the concrete base. Inserted some wall plugs. And pulled the fiberglass down flat with some screws. The screw heads were protruding up, so these needed to be ground down flush. The dust was everywhere. When we had finished sanding, I swept out the whole pond. Then we wet it down and mopped it out. Fiberglassing a pond is not hard to do, but it is easy to make a mess of it. A lot of people will choose to bring in a professional like Stuart. He has had years of experience and always does a good job. To be successful, you need to have everything prepared. You need rollers, brushes, clean buckets and scissors. Also a catalyst dispenser, paddle roller and a supply of acetone and disposable gloves. Chopped strand matting, polyester resin, flow coat and catalyst. If you decide to tackle it yourself, a supplier such as East Coast Fiberglass should be able to help provide with these. We started by measuring out several pieces of chopped strand matting. We needed to allow enough for the overlaps. We then measured out polyester resin into a bucket. Stuart added the catalyst. The amount of catalyst varies from 1 to 3%, depending on the temperature, humidity, and desired working time. It takes experience to get it right. The resin is rolled onto a section of the wall about 1 metre wide. Then the chopped strand mat is pressed flat onto the wall. More resin is rolled on until the mat is fully wet out. A special paddle roller is run over the mat to flatten it out and remove any dry patches. The mat becomes transparent and you can move on to the next section. By the end of the day, Stuart had finished laying up and it was getting very dark, so we called it a day. Hi, I've just had a bit of a surprise. Quite a few people have been commenting recently about my weight. So Wendy brought in a pair of scales and we're going to see just how bad it's getting. Alright. Take off as much as I dare. Let's see, let's get on there and have a look. That's not good.
What is it?
It can't be as much as that. The scales are not working properly.
Step back. Step off.
Well, mine's horrendous. I've never been this heavy.
Yeah, you're not as heavy as that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's wrong. As long as we go down.
Right. I'll just double check that.
It's probably right. That needs scales.
Yeah. We're up to 18 stone.
God, I thought that was bad.
I mean, well, let's just get back on there. I'm sure these scales must be faulty.
Go on, stand up.
What a shock. Time to stay off the takeaways and get out the walking boots. See how things are going in the next video.
Yep.
Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Thumbs up the video and leave a comment. It's bye for now from Lee at the Japanese Water Gardens.